Hello and welcome everyone to the Casual Boots Tournament brackets. This is game 2 of Tam versus arabidwombat, and we should be getting started pretty shortly. Tam did take game 1, I believe, and yeah. So Casual Boots, very simple mode. You get boots, you get a sword, you do escape. And the real fun of it is, well, you have boots. Oh, yeah, everyone's happy with it. But and this will be if you've been following the release schedule or whatever on the link to the past randomizer Discord. This is on the old version. It's not on the version that's been released yesterday. So we'll see a little bit of lag at times. The sub 5 will not be free in this casual boot. By sub 5, I do mean basically when you get out of escape, it being sub 5 minutes. And with the early bonk, sub 5 is definitely not free. Yes, there is a new version that was released on Thursday, and the big change to the new ROM version is a thing called Fast ROM. Fast ROM is something that's built into the SNES, and it lets the SNES CPU run at 1/3 or 1/2 faster speed. It was generally used in later games on the SNES because earlier games would have to use more expensive ROM chips. But the result of swapping the randomizer to fast ROM is that a lot of the extra lag is gone. So you think about, like, if you're in Thieves Town, the top right room in the beginning, just before the big key door, or the big door, yeah, big key door, there's not lag in that room anymore. But again, Casual Boots is staying on the old version for the remainder of their tournament, so we won't see it here. That's definitely something that's worth trying out if you're into the randomizer. Only half magic is nice. It's always weird how to set yourself up for 8/ here when you have boots. Like, what do you do? I haven't done anything or figured anything out that actually feels natural. Just kind of run under there, and you can see they both clinked a couple times on the guard as a result. Just heading through escape here. We do know the next chest is going to be the small key, because they need that to open the door, obviously. And another thing about casual boots, or about any standard mode, is that you get a free lamp cone whenever you're in the sewers while you're doing escape, even if you don't have the lamp. That only applies while you're doing the first escape attempt, or while you're doing the actual escape attempt. If you come back later, that cone will be gone once you've rescued the princess. Yeah, there's our small key. Tam's getting a nice key dash there. The way that key dashes work, you do most geometry in this game is aligned on 4-pixel boundaries. And if you end your dash frame right next to the door will automatically open and you won't bonk off of it. So basically what you do there, what they did was line up against the chest where they got the key and then dash left, and you can see them cancel to the right instead of up or down to stay on that same vertical pixel. And just dash right through the door. Oh, small optimization. Tam with the big read. That we got the big map. Oh, we just got our map check. I saw absolutely none of it. Early powder. It's neat, but it doesn't actually open up a check yet. So Eastern Red Pendant, or Eastern Red Crystal and Desert Green Pendant. Yeah, in the new patch, the green pendant, when it actually drops, it has the little asterisk effect or whatever on the bottom right corner, so you can see it when it drops. I think it's good as a colorblind option. If people can't tell that it's a green pendant, it's definitely a good helpful thing. We got some bombs, so we're not going to have to farm this rock here. We're into Kakariko. Kakariko is very dense, but if you don't have a bottle right now, you don't end up getting a bottle. You got to worry about having to make a return trip, which isn't great. The asterisk effect does not apply to the red crystals, no. As far as I can tell, those are unchanged. Straight into Master Sword. Always concerning to see the Master Sword. You don't really want to have an Agaseed, but it's not the worst thing imaginable. There's our lamp. So we now have, of the items that we've gotten, a Master Sword and a lamp. Now, you don't really want to do Aga until you have a Moon Pearl. You can't just gamble on the Moon Pearl being on the pyramid. And while you're looking for this Moon Pearl, like you're gonna want to look for other stuff too. Obviously, just having a Master Sword and doing Aga Tower, it's doable, but also it really sucks in some rooms. All right, there's our glove. And there's confirmation, Tam doing their map check, that it does with the green pendant. Same, we'll see if they're both going to do the south loop first. That looks like it. Wombat fishing for a 50-50 bomb drop from that rock. That rock, if you lift it up, has a coin flip chance of having a bomb under it. There's a fun trick with the dam. If you have the mirror and you erase the block with the mirror, when you do that, the way that you bonk and you move gets changed because Zelda. So you can actually just bonk right into the lever and pull it while you're in the bonk animation. And it is actually not a slow strat. It's one of the better strats for the room to do. There's our Moon Pearl. So we got one glove, we got our Moon Pearl. We're looking for another glove. Meanwhile, Wombat going to the left, farming some rupees. Maybe we see an Agana check and then just trying to have enough rupees to get Zora. Right. A mushroom on the desert ledge. And then Tam is setting up a water walk by dashing and not having that dash interrupted or stopped near a pit. Tam will be able to walk on the water here by jumping down right here. And this is a good setup to be able to go towards like the Zora area or the waterfall. Maybe Tam will just check the nope, that is definitely going to the waterfall at least. Doesn't have money for the big fish. So might just eye what's on the ledge and go. Meanwhile, Wombat is making a move to get enough money to be able to do Zora when he gets there. I think there was enough money in Mini Moldorm so that he'll be able to do it. I mean, as it stands right now, they're in a situation where there's going to be the choice between going back and checking Zora or doing Aga. Yeah, with a glove, Zora is in logic. There's a rock next to the potion shop that you can pick up, and basically you can walk the entire way there without having to swim. So this mountain check from Tam is in logic as well, with the gloves and the lamp. There's only one other thing that Tam can get to on the mountain, and that's the inside of Spectacle Rock. Can look at what's on the top of Spectacle Rock. Okay, Ice Rod. That's a comforting item to have early. But it doesn't help the current situation at all. Yeah, just 10 arrows on top of the rock, so it's nothing. And then I can't even tell what that was. Maybe a heart piece? I guess Tam is satisfied that it is nothing. And is continuing on. seeing Wombat doing the same things. We'll see if Wombat makes the same choice here. Looks like Wombat's going to Zora. With the Moon Pearl, you can choose to fake Flipper out of the, or go into Hobo. Out of the Hobo area, there's a fake Flipper setup that you can do. And then you can fake Flipper to the Waterfall Cave. Since you have Moon Pearl, you'll get the Waterwalk state that way. There's a third sword in the back. Oh, there's... oh, there's all 4 swords. Alright. I think Tam's going to do Aga now. So when Tam does this Aga, he's gonna, or they're gonna have the pyramid item, the catfish, and pod, and not even all a pod. Maybe not more than 1 chest of pod, and added to their available logic. So this is definitely a play that can go either way. And we're going to see Wombat has been much more thorough with the checks. If Wombat goes in the Eastern, and there's something in the Eastern, that like a glove or a hammer, that's going to be a much better situation for them. Yeah, Zola was nothing. Wombat also going to the mountain. Looks like here. Okay. Just taking a safe route. Going a little wide. Tam is just assuming Aga is required at this point, but there's only... in Tam's view, there's only 4 checks left. 4 items, potentially 4. And those are the Eastern checks and the Agena checks. And Tam checked the Zora Ledge, but Tam did not check the Zora King. So that's 5 things in the light world left for them. So it is a little bit of a gamble, but at this point it's a pretty reasonable one. We know at this point that if Aga is not required, the item is in Eastern to make Aga not required. So another glove or a hammer in Eastern. Here we go. Everyone can get their blue ball guesses in. I will not count, as I cannot count these things. I lose track. Well, this is going to be a decision point for Wombat, whether they go into Eastern or not. At this point, I'd like to see it just for my own personal curiosity, but okay, running out, not saving and quitting. This does look like the Eastern play. Alright, let's see what's on the pyramid. Money. Wait, was that money? Yeah, it's money. I think this is Tam making sure that they have money for Zora, if it comes down to it. And then also still having money for Kiki. straight to catfish. Not even a map check. Now, give me something here, Cam. Nothing on the catfish. We're down to potentially one in logic check for Tam. That is the shooter room and pod. Shooter room has to be a small key, and that'll give more checks for Tam. But if it's not, and it's not progression, we're about to see progression on the other side. Once the compass and the map get out of the way. There's a bottle that opens up another check for Wombat. That is the first bottle that we've seen. Yeah, that's a rough one. You're legging it back over to Kakariko. Here is the last chance. Bombos. Okay. Small key for pod. Tam gets to continue on. We might see Tam, even if that wasn't a key, we might have seen Tam do mimic flips to make it through. And yeah, Wombat is checking the sick kid. Oh, bad news. So yeah, we're going to see. Let's see. Hook shot, a glove, or hammer in pod. And I say that because those are the only ways to get around. The hook shot, if you go back to the pyramid, you can pick up a rock and then hook shot to the left to get over to the village of outcasts and Skullwoods and etc. The second glove and the hammer serve similar purposes in being able to do the portal above Kakariko. There's a fire rod. There's the hammer and pod. So, without a little bit extra, this won't be a completable pod. We do know that it is a crystal, because there is a C on the top left. And the mitts. So hammer and mitts in pod. Interesting. And fun. And then I'll go see Tam do the hammer yell. Double pixel perfect setup to blow yourself through this rail and be able to check these last three chests in pod. I'm not sure the count of non-key stuff Tam got in the front. Based on these can't be keys, both items in the right side have to be keys. So Tam will be returning here and doing that right side. Needs at least one key to be able to get the Helmasaur. But in the meantime, has proper Dark World access, not through this guy on Wombat's side. And everyone, once again, you can get your guesses for blue balls in chat on the right side here. That was Swamp and Ice as pendants. Okay, no hype cave check with them. Oh, taking the trident throw or whatever from the guy. Fun little thing. Yeah, I'm curious. Well, that's a way to go. Probably better than what I do. Just the south loop here. One more check possible since Tam doesn't have a mirror. I guess with mitts you can just go all the way around. You can pick up the big rock. I didn't even think about it, but yeah. That pod was dirty. What's even funnier about that pod is based on the where the mitts. Well, no, they were both in. One was in the basement and one was in the compass. They were both 4-key locked. If it was in like Harmless Hellway, then it would have been bow required for mitts, which is a definitely amusing thing. I don't know how much use you can actually get out of that if you're looking for a bow, but and also with the fire rod in pod means that Skull Woods is also doable. There's our cane, so near away from doing TR. Not bad as entering pod here. Get the good items. I just feel worse when you don't have a move. Thanks to our great tracker, Excalibur, in the chat. Letting you know about item counts. I did not count items because I cannot count. Absolutely cannot count. But if you can count in the front of pod, you know that there can be a max of 2 non-key items. And that lets you know where the rest of the keys in the front are. There's our flippers and thieves for Tam. Doesn't really open up anything that hasn't been done yet, except Pendant Ice. I don't think we'll see Tam rushing that. I guess it's got to be placed somewhere. We can start thinking about what the players need for go mode. That Bombos that Wombat has could potentially be our Meyer and or TR medallion. But if not, they're both going to have to find another medallion or two. We need a bow to be able to finish Eastern and Pod. And we need a flute to be able to get to Maya. So, just oh, the mitts were key locked. So the first bow in terms of progression can't be behind the mitts. The second bow can, which is why you probably don't pay a super lot of attention, but that is interesting. It means we're probably just going to see a bow in Skullwoods or something. There's not really that many checks left that are not mitts locked. Well, Hook is logically required to finish the seed. Hook is obviously not going to be actually required to finish the seed. Depending on the tricks that the players know. Even if you can't hover, there is the mode on bounce, which is doable. And here we're about to see a hover attempt to get to the right side. Very cool. Oh, I think that was a little bit too far to the right. Looks like Wombat's going to set it up again and try it again. But yeah, Tam can partially hover. And even if Tam can't hover, literally last night in a glitch race, we watched Tam do the mode on bounce to get across. Just a red rupee on the bumper ledge. Easy check, especially when you don't have mirror, so you can't combo it with like Graveyard Ledge or King's Tomb. Just getting the eye out and seeing, well, this is a thing. I better look out for the cape. It's good. Just him doing front to back skull. Let's see whether this turns out to be the efficient option. Skull has 2 items, but the pieces of skull, the entrances, the sections of skull are all kind of far apart, because to get to Skull 3, you have to run all the way through Skull 2, through a couple rooms that are useless, and just spend time for you. And then you have to do this overall movement too, so. But looks like there was an item in the front. think just one. So, yeah, one in front. I'm not sure about the key count. There can't be a key on Moth, but it looks like Tam got all 3 keys. So, I guess there's a dungeon item and a item back here. Yeah. So, a true 50-50, whether we're going to get the item from Moth or from the chest under the bridge. Ah, the big key. Oh. A true 33, 33, 33 on what we're going to get back here. In the meantime, Wombat has worked his way around here. And is in Thieves, working through things, about to get the flippers. We're all hoping that the flippers are nothing, right? No Ice Palace, no Swamp, dips. Yeah, Tam did the double poke. So Moth, whenever Moth hits the spikes, Moth takes no damage. Because of the way that the damage tables are set up, and because the way that the room is set up, they made it like that. So a way to mitigate that is you basically do a dash poke into Moth, and usually that ends up counting as 2 hits for you. And sometimes after that you get a good deflection, and then you can just slash twice and finish Moth off. But the dash poke is definitely the preferred strategy when you have boots or Moth, or when you have at least tempered. There are different strategies for if you're doing a Master Sword or a Fighter Sword Moth fight that don't involve poking. Here comes Tam trying to hover. There was an attempt. There have been hover attempts on both sides now. Making the statements. Letting us know they're not scared of not having hook, I guess. Never even heard of a hook. Okay, this is the Spike Cave play for Tam. Having not getting the mirror, unless I missed the mirror. This is definitely just doing Spike. I mean, I guess that is. There's not that many spots left. There is a spot opened up that maybe you don't think about because you're thinking more about the Dark World when you get the mitts, and that is the King's Tomb. Okay, what are we seeing here from Tam? We're doing the blind script on Wombat's side. Good so far. Very nice. Oh, Tam is doing Desert Grandpa. We already know that Desert Grandpa's nothing. This feels... Tam is going back to check the stuff that they haven't, or that they left behind. So this is interesting. I think now we're going to see King's Tomb. I think King's Tomb has to be something here. I think we've seen everything else. So it's got to be the tomb. Not true. We haven't seen Powder. Oh, man. The first thing Tam did on doing Aga was go to Catfish, and Catfish was nothing. Tam didn't... Oh, there's... Yeah, this. Hammer Pegs. There's the awful, 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 awful Smith chain without the mirror. Oh, this was Kane. Tam did do this. Tam did do hammer packs. My bad. Tam's also doing powder. It's this or it's the Smith chain. It's this. There's our mirror. Mirror does provide access to everything on the east side of Death Mountain now. And Hera, if you would like. As well as Graveyard Ledge and K45. And there's a bonus that Tam just received. Might not even realize it. But now every time Tam saves and quits in the Dark World, they're going to be on the pyramid. And probably not intentionally. But yeah, Rando, not wanting you to get stuck in the Dark World. Make sure that you actually have mirror before doing the vanilla-ish behavior of saving quits in the Dark World. Put you on the pyramid. This doesn't seem to have been a terrible hero yet. Still a pretty good fight for Wombat. For Moth. I'm not sure if there's something in the basement. Well, there was an item on the boss, right? So there should be one in the basement left. Okay. Tam chooses not to do the Hera basement. Oh, there's an item in the first room. Maybe I was wrong about it, but it is a mystery. Wombat's taking a death warp. Okay. So the map is in the basement. So not necessarily today. I'm setting up the combo both dark and light East Death Mountain. See this mirror right in the middle. Continue moving right to do the light world portion. I guess so. The mirror isn't bow locked according to the pod logic. So because the hammer was just in the basement, it's not locked by extra keys. So I was thinking we could end up seeing a bow here on this side. But once Tam goes into the dark world, it is less likely, not completely unlikely, that Tam sees a bow. And the wombat is checking this. I want to see Wombat doing. Wombat has less stuff to do than Tam. I think Wombat is actually going to get the Smith here. That'll be a new check that we haven't seen. And this is pretty reasonable. You're saving and quitting anyway, and you're going over there. You can combo both things. I think it's a pretty good idea with not having the mirror. Unfortunately, immediately about to get them. Tam's in Hookshot Cave. There's the hookshot in the Hookshot Cave. That's what it's named for, right? And holds the hookshot. And there's the bow. Interesting bow, though. Alright, that Bombos is in the Eastern Vanilla Big Key chest. And see, there we're saying, there's the save, and there's the pyramid. Tam might have meant to do that, but might just be going with it. So it was a common option to skip Eastern Vanilla Big Key chest to save time. That happens. It's going to be a rough road for Tam. But we're seeing the return to Pod, the completion of Pod, the death, doom, and destruction of Helmasaur. And Wombat gets the mirror. Not sure if I saw anything else in the Smith. I think it's going to head up to the mountain. Hopefully does not head to Link's house. Because there is stuff to the south that the mirror opens up. Old swamp. You know, as it is. Head still isn't actually open because we need a way to open up desert. And depending on what Meyer is, it is pretty unlikely we even see that here. Because basically a medallion and a flute. 1 to 2 medallions and a flute away from go mode. Salmasaur. Yeah, right side pod was absolutely 2 small keys. And Tam will have to do right side pod to get one of those small keys. Because Tam's at 0. Wombat tried to hover to the right side to get the key before saving and quitting, so wouldn't have to do that when they came back in. But went a little bit too far, it looked like, and couldn't flip into the rail. Our Tam did do the right side. Right? I don't know, it's getting late. And I'm old. Getting sleepy. But anyway, while we're watching Wombat proceed to the east side of Death Mountain, and we're watching Tam cover this eastern and figuring out whether Tam's going to do the big key chest and see whether Bombos happens. Please remember to follow our runners. They're putting on a great show here. And please also follow my great tracker, putting all of the great information in chat for all of us to be able to understand what's going on. Because if it was left up to me, we'd all be confused. Yeah, I think they both knew that right side pod was a small key, or 2 small keys. Game's going. Yeah, so Tam already knows that TR is Bombos and is about to see that here. Might be an immediate trip back after this. What else are you going to do? You're looking for a flute. You don't even know if you need another medallion or not. You're just going to pretend like you don't. Wombat will be able to do this in one trip. And hopefully will. Like, once you crack this open, you can jump down, go do the other stuff over here, and then go ahead and clear TR. We know the flute is almost certainly going to be in TR. Oh, Wombat's going straight into TR first. Okay. This is also reasonable play. The only problem with this is not having the hook shot for this room. I'm going to go around slowly. Oh, Ether was on the Armos Knights. So now you're feeling very confident about having the Myra medallion. And we're going to see a full clear from both of them for the TR here. The big thing is that if Flute is in the front, we might start seeing Tam not full clearing as much, because Tam will be 66% certain on go mode. And grabbing the fairy bonk there. Powder usage. This half magic is getting some usage. Nice bunny sprite. Still no flute. There isn't. I guess there's both pendants. It's not here. Thought for a second that Tam might be stuck on the pegs. I think that was around the lowest pixel you could be without, and still able to get out to the north. And there's the flute in the big chest. Minor optimization from Tam not hitting a switch and running out. Normally in NMG you'd hit the switch there because you don't actually leave the dungeon, but since you're doing this full clear, you absolutely leave the dungeon. And whenever you leave a dungeon, the switch settings reset, so not worth hitting anything. Alright, and here's our laser bridge. Right after this safety door break. Bugnet. The key that had to be here. A red rupee. Vanilla-ish. If I remember right, it's increasing value rupees, so green, red, blue, or green, blue, red. In here in vanilla. figure at this point, since Tam already has to check Wizard Bridge for a key, we'll probably see them do everything. It wasn't anything particularly useful there, but quite could have been there. Seeing that little bit of lag. Alright, wombat. Hook shot. Bow. Just right after this. Came a little too quick on the fire rod shot for the ice head. It hadn't hit the vulnerability yet. Yes, unless Quake is in go mode, or unless Myers Quake. Tam has a 2-dungeon lead. Both of these dungeons have already been dipped by Wombat, so it won't be as long going back through, but still have to go back through. We'll have this flute for a little bit of getting around. Both of them. Activating the flute at nearly the same time. I'm going to get to see from Wombat's side what the Mire Medallion is. The go mode question will be solved. It's ether. So Wombat does not realize where that is. Wombat will get that on the way, doing Eastern and Pod, and hopefully we see that first, but you can see the difference here. The Wombat's in the shed, while Tam's at the head that's coming out of the ground. Is that a head? That kind of looks like eyes and a mouth. I don't know. Well, we're going to hope that Wombat just takes this and goes and does Pod, does Eastern. This will end up working out for him. So we're going to see the bridge big key in the hover. Just a small key. I was hoping. Wombat also realizing the right side's necessary here. Get the key. Go to the back. This isn't like a simple mire making, but Sam chooses to save the key, the small key, and not go through the small door there. Go all the way around. A couple extra transitions for this. But it pays off. There's the big key. And Tam still has a small key to exit through the north here. Both going to be in boss fights at the same time. Both good fights from both. That Tam has the required 7 crystals, and it's Janus Tower time. I know, everyone's posting numbers. It's time for the big key guessing game. So yeah, get your guesses. Where is the big key gonna be? All right, time to go in the door and reset the screen. Tammy's getting it from these dead rocks. I'm climbing from down here, not going to the TR portal. It's interesting. I'm gonna try and count here, but I'm just gonna warn you. It's impossible. Meanwhile, Wombat is on the Armos fight, is going to get the go mode indication here. There it is. 1 dungeon left for Wombat to finish. That's just Mire. Kind of a complicated big key hunt there. So, Alright, that's one. Head up to the Stalfos room. Two. My shovel. Three. It's three. Did anyone guess three? Oh, no one guessed three. Yeah, I guess the closest. Four. Very close. Very simple big key. It was more checks to get the Meyer big key than to get the GT big key. The gauntlet from Tam. Pretty well equipped. You have everything you want here except silvers. You probably don't even want silvers in the gauntlet. I mean, just on a sheer numbers thing, silver's still in GT. But no, I think silver's had to be in swamp. I think that bow in the hookshot cave was the second bow because it was locked. It was behind mitts. So the first bow had to be in swamp. Can't actually be here. Can't be in ice because that's mitts locked too. This is all based on the mitts being in the Harmless Hellway, which is 6 key lock. And then pod being bow locked. And the hammer from 3 or 4 key lock basement was the path to getting the mirror. Yeah, hook was also mitts locked. It has to be in the front of swamp. I don't even think it can be in desert, unless like there was somewhere we didn't see that had the book. And I don't know that I don't know that we didn't see. I think we saw every non-mitts lock check. Yeah, swamp could be like, it could be like book and swamp for bow and desert. But yeah, we're probably gonna see swamp when Ganon talks. Oh, the center of the triangle. You hate to see the fat triangles for Aga. Oh yeah, it could be in Graveyard Ledge, so that's Light World. And Tam faking like they're doing a glitch. But Tam would never do a glitch in this glitchless race, because that would be illegal. All right, get ready. We're going to see the message about the bow. I'm excited. I don't know if you're excited, but I'm excited to know about the bow. Right. We're into phase 3. Wombat has finished Meyer and is going to head to GT. Oh, Wombat's getting arrows from the capacity upgrade. Very nice. That's good heads up thinking. Seeing the triples from Tam doing the silverless Ganon. I didn't see what the message was. Light world for the other bow, so yeah, it has to be in Graveyard Ledge. That's the last check that you can get to in the light. This K45 check. I think K45 was either. Yeah, get your GGs in chat, Tam. Tam was finishing with a racetime.gg time of 1:16:39. And with that, Wombat has forfeited. All right, we're joined in the booth by Tam. GG's, Tam.
Thanks.
So, bows. We've been talking about them. I don't know if you thought about that bow in Hookshot Cave and its logical progression.
Oh, yeah, I mean, that was the reason why I, got the mirror instead of doing other things, was because I knew that bow was not behind mids. Or, even, I figured it was probably the hookshot or mirror leading to bow on Death Mountain. Which was kind of true, I guess. But yeah, I knew that, I didn't check in GT for a bow, because it couldn't be a bow there.
Mm-hmm. But then we see from
Magic Bat or not that early at least, if I knew that, or if I had got mids in logic.
Yeah, okay. But yeah, then Ganon gave the Light World suggestion. And that cleared absolutely nothing up, really.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm pretty sure it's K45 or Graveyard Ledge.
Yeah,
as I know.
Right behind the mirror. Was something else weird.
Zoro and Herber was something that I probably should have done, but
yeah, but we did see that from Wombat's side.
Okay.
And those weren't the bow. So yeah. Any other thoughts on this seed?
It was actually in a alternate world where I didn't get bow and hookshot on the mountain. I was really hoping that bow was just in K45, because I was doing swamp after the mountain if I didn't find all the stuff there.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That was my main location for the bow, was front of swamp.
How worried were you before Like when you kind of skipped a few things before doing Aga, then you went to the catfish, then you did a lot of pod, still with
Yeah.
nothing. Then it kind of finally everything just dumped on you right there in pod. But
Yeah, I
on
mean,
the other
once
side, yeah,
it became
like
very clear that the double dip pod was necessary, so I was like, it's fine.
yeah, and on the other side, we were watching Wombat do the full clear of everything. Went into Eastern in the before doing Aga. Got the bombos. That was kind of a question too, whether you would choose to skip or not.
Mm.
But
Yeah, I was
yeah,
a bit worried that like maybe he would start Dark World at Village and have done Magic Bat. But I figured that like I was kind of fine, like especially with the cane that felt like a kind of skippable item. And then I didn't like dip ice, for example, which seemed quite tempting. So I was feeling pretty good about that.
yeah, we both did manage to avoid every pendant in the seed, so that's pretty nice.
I was going to do Aga after Sahasrar's Hut, even with other swords, but finding two swords that was pretty funny.
Yeah, the two swords in Aga's closet, those are the last swords in the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, like what the heck? Crazy.
I don't know, other
Noise.
than the mirror and the bow, it was kind of like straightforward. I was sort of preparing for it to be a hover seed, and then it wasn't.
Yeah, we did get to see your Skullward's hover attempt.
Yeah. That's the fun one to warm.
Yeah, warm it up. It seemed like you were ready to hover the bomb or the hookshot cave too.
Yeah, I was gonna try. I was not gonna succeed, but I was gonna try.
But yeah. Oh no, it was really a good performance by you.
It was fun. Two fun races, kinda. I mostly forgot the first one actually, but pretty sure I had fun.
Oh yeah. Um this was your second race, right?
Yeah.
So you're gonna end up moving on in the bracket. Do you know who your next opponent is? 'Cause
I don't
I
believe the match is done.
all
Playing
right.
Cheddar Man vs Bumblebee, winner of that.
Mhm.
Should also be fun.
All right. So yeah. I guess with that, if there's not any more.
Yeah, I guess that's all you have to say about the seed. Thanks to you and Pixcalibur for putting on the restream. It's always fun to get these restreamed.
Yeah, and it was fun seeing you do the seed here. Let's see real quick if Wombat wants to pop in before. Before we call it. I want to see the hover. Or wombat. Just for fun.